If you're looking for a powerful form builder, I have the solution for you. It's called Jotform. It has so many features that it's gonna blow your mind. So let's go check it out right now. Welcome to Jotform. My name is George, and on this video, we are going to cover Jotform. There's so many features on this video that it's going to blow your mind away. Now, we will be dedicating a section to Jotform AI Agents, so stick around. Now, what is Jotform? Jotform enables you to create forms that are really robust and powerful that can be shared online, offline, and even with an application that you can really easily share with all your clients, your fans, or just anyone who needs a form. So let's get started. This is my main workspace here on Jotform, and we are able to locate every single creation that we've done here on Jotform, including forms, AI agents, tables, apps. Everything's going to be right here. But if we want to head on over to Jotform Forms, then we're going to click on My Workspace and we're going to click on My Forms. This will give us a clear list of only forms. Now I'm going to show you how easy it is to get started here on Jotform. So we're going to create our first form right here. We're going to be greeted with several options to build our forms. We can start from scratch, which is the best way to create a super unique form, but it doesn't mean that you have to get started from scratch. You can also use templates. And as of this video, there's over 10,000 templates available. So that means that we can choose any of the available templates right here. So you got available categories that you can select. And if we select one of these, we are able to go ahead and preview this. We're able to test it out to see if we like it. And if we do like this form, we can actually use this template and customize it to our own needs. So let me show you how easy that is to get started here on Jotform. So let's go ahead and use the template. And this is going to open up the form builder. In this section, we'll be able to edit all the available elements on this template. So that means that if I select any of the elements, I am able to click on the gear button and customize it to our own needs. Or what if we don't need some of these elements because the template has it? Well, let's just say that we don't need a free pickup option. We can just go ahead and remove this and just take it away and customize it to our own liking. Or what if we need new elements? Well, that is possible too. So if we click on add elements, there's several elements available that we can use, and we just go ahead and drag them inside of here and start editing the element to our own needs. There's basic elements, there's payment elements, and there's widgets. So highly customizable. And yes, we do have the option to customize the design too. So if I click on the form designer, I'm able to change the look of this template with colors, styles, themes, or the layout. So if I want to change it to card form, that is possible too, instead of using the classic form, and the other way around. Once you're good to go, you're able to publish this and start sharing it right away. So templates are super useful to get started. Now let me show you the other options available too. So you can see how easy that was to customize a template to our own needs. Well, let me show you how easy it is to actually create a template from scratch too. So let's go ahead and start from scratch, and we have two options, classic form and card form. I'm going to show you classic form because that's going to be the easiest way to show you how the elements will look right here. And we're going to be greeted with the form builder, and you're going to see how easy it is to build a form from scratch too. So first off, we have the top element, which is the header, and by default, it says form. We could change this to something else like party invitation. We can also add a subheader. We can go ahead and click on the properties and modify it from here. And we can also remove it if we don't want a header. In this case, we're going to keep it. Now, the fun part, let's go ahead and add elements to build our form. So let's go ahead and click on add elements, and there's several elements available to create our form from scratch. So first off, let's go ahead and drag right here our full name. Let's add the phone number. We're going to add also a short text, a drop down, a single choice, a multiple choice. We're also going to add a file upload, and we're going to keep it like this to get started. So each one of these elements has different properties that can be modified. So in this case, we have the name. And if we click on the properties option, we're going to get the properties for this specific element that we've just selected. And each one of the type of elements will have different properties to be set up. So in this case, for the name, we have the general options available here, like the label alignment. We can change this to make it more compact or on the top, etc. For this one, I'm going to prefer the left. And there's also the option to make this required. They won't be able to fill out the form if they don't fill out their name. So in this case, I will make it required. Then we have options available here. We can also ask for the middle name, the prefix, the suffix, and we can go ahead and remove these and leave them on if we like. In this case, I'm gonna keep it simple with the first name and last name. And we also have advanced options. If you want to change the placeholders or hover over text to notify them what this element is for. In some cases, that will be useful when it's a more complex element, but in this case, it's plain and simple the name, right? You can make this read only if they don't need to fill out something. You can shrink this in case you want to add more elements in a single section. And we can also hide the field. Now, this is useful for conditional logic, which I'll show you a bit later. Now, let's go ahead and click on the next element, which is the phone number. Again, I'm going to click on the gear icon here for the properties. We're going to have different elements. Again, we can make this required, change the label alignment, but in the options, there's different options since this is for the phone number. We can also enable the country code in case this form is for worldwide purposes. We can also input masked, so the phone number is masked, or we can turn this off. So we got a country code, area code, and phone number. So I'm going to turn off mask for this case, and we also have the advanced options here. That's for that option there. There's also the option for example, the drop-down menu. Go to properties. We got our general properties. We got our options for this specific element. We can change the width or keep it auto width. We have options available here. So for example, if they need to select something like red, blue, green, and just give them options, that will be enabled here on the dropdown. And you can see them right here in the live preview here. And we can also add the options from here. So I can also say a black that will be added, and it's also updated here on the properties. Okay. There's also the option for predefined options. And if you are asking for the US state, go ahead and select this and it'll automatically add the options. Same thing goes for gender, last 100 years, countries, month, days, time zones. So it's super easy without having to add every single individual option manually. Okay. Then we have default values, calculated values, and show text in empty options. So several options available here. And then we have the options for individual choice. So that means that they can only select one. And in the options, we'll have the available options for this. So add your options right here. Predefined options, again, same as the options over here in the drop down. There's the gender, days, and month, calculated values, display other options, and several options available. So it's a really robust feature to have properties for each one of these elements. And the last one I want to show you for now is the file upload. We're going to go into options, and in options, we can set the limit file size. So that's going to be on or off. If you're going to allow them to upload any size, just go ahead and turn this off. If you want to set a maximum and minimum, that is possible right here. And the file types allowed. By default, these are the ones added, but you can go ahead and remove these if you're not going to allow these type of files. Then just go ahead and remove these and they won't be able to upload the other type of files. Okay. There's also the multiple. If you want to limit the number of files, if you want to set, for example, only 2 files, set that there. And the advanced options for this particular property. And I also want to show you that it is possible to add a payment gateway. So if you want to receive payments in the form that you've just built, it's super easy. So as of this video, there's all these available payment gateways that you can choose from, and it's super easy to set up, but the setup will be different for each one of these payment gateways. In this case, I'm going to show you the most easiest one, in my personal opinion, which is PayPal Standard. And this will enable you to really easily accept PayPal payments with this option. So you will need a PayPal account to use this. Go ahead and add your email address right here. In this case, I'll add my test address. Select the currency that you're going to charge in. So in this case, there's all the available currencies here. Go ahead and select it. Then the payment type. In this case, if you are going to sell products, then go ahead and keep it at sell products. And we'll be able to add products after this initial setup. If you're going to sell subscriptions, go ahead and select this. User defined amount or collect donations. So if this was a donation form, go ahead and select collect donations and you get different options for each one of these that you select. So in this case, I'm going to show you with products, which is super easy. And there's also additional gateway settings that you might want to take a look at to set up. In this case, I'm going to leave them with the default choice and I'm going to continue. Now I'm able to add products. So in this case, I'll create a new product for you. And I'm just going to say test product. Here we go. The price for this will be $100. And this is just a test description. And I'm going to choose an image. I'm going to use one of my images available here. And I'm going to add this sweatshirt. Here we go. And I just added it, and you can add multiple images right here. You can auto scale the images in case they are different sizes required. So they need to purchase something in order to fill out the form. And this, if you set that, they won't be able to submit the form if they don't buy something. Select by default. So if you need a product to be selected by default, if you have several products, that is possible too. Then we have the options. So in the options, you can add a quantity selector. So we'll go ahead and add that there in case they want to add more. In this case, I'm going to give them a range from 1 to 10. Let's go ahead and save the quantity. And we can also add a product option. So let's go ahead and select that there. And I'm going to say, in this case, for example, size. In this case, I'm going to set the sub-product options and special pricing per option. So that will be changed, and I can set the t-shirt size. So I can set different prices for different sizes. And again, these are predefined options that are super easy to just use right here without having to generate each one of these manually. So let's go ahead and go back. We have our first product right here, and we can go ahead and add more products really easily, just like the one you saw right now that we've just created. We can also create coupons, shipping details, tax details, and invoice if we want to enable this to generate an invoice. So it's super easy to add your payment gateway and start adding products, collect donations, sell services, and it's just a breeze doing it here on Jotform. Let me go ahead and remove this just for testing purposes right now. And I'm also going to show you the widgets options. Widgets options, there's a lot of them. So I'm going to just add a few of these just for testing purposes, but there's so many of these. For example, let me show you the add options. Add options is super useful if you want to allow the person who's filling out the form to add more fields in order for them to type in details. For example, who is coming, and the option is going to be name, all right? So that's going to be name 1. Let's go ahead and update this. And in this case, let me go ahead and preview this for you so you understand how it works. So if I go to preview form, here we go. Someone is going to fill out this form and they're going to jump into this section. So names, and I'm going to say George, which is me. I'm going to add another field right here, and I'm going to say Leslie, and I'm going to say Pat, etc. But you have the option to add or remove as many as needed. So if you're going to ask a question that has multiple responses, this is a great option. So let me go ahead and remove this, and let me show you another one. You have, for example, a dynamic dropdown, a PDF embed, inventory, matrix, unique ID. If you want to add a YouTube section. So if I want to add the video, just go ahead and add the link right here. So it's super easy to use. You also have form tabs, spreadsheet to form, and there's several available widgets for different situations, which is super useful to have all these options available. So you got your basics, you got your payment gateways, and you got your widgets to make your form really stand out. Now, what if you want to make your form look nicer? Well, that is possible too by clicking on the form designer. So you don't have to stick with the default available theme. You can change the color scheme. So if these color schemes fit your branding or the colors that you like, go ahead and select it. We can also customize each one of these colors individually. We can also add a page image, a form image, font color, and all the available options right here. There's even an advanced designer. But what if you want to use style? That is possible too. We can change the form width, label alignment, the question is spacing, the label width. There's a lot of customization going into this. Now there's also the option to inject custom CSS. So if you really want to change completely the look of this form, that is possible with CSS. We also have themes available to easily change the theme. So if I want to use this one, which has a brick look, I just select it and we have the updated theme right here. What if I want to use this colorful one? I'll just go ahead and use theme, which would really go with the party invitation. So I like this look. Let's go ahead and keep it for testing purposes, but it's just super easy to do the changes in the themes with the designer over here. Okay, now I'm going to show you a really big feature here on Jotform, which is conditional logic. Now there's a dedicated video for this, but in this case, I'm going to show you a quick one. So I'm going to say in this case where we have a question, we are asking for the colors. But in this case, I'm going to say that if they select the red color, this next option will be available. So I'm going to say, thank you for selecting red. Okay, and I'm just doing this so you can locate it. And what I'm going to do for this property over here, which is this one, I'm going to go to the advanced section and I'm going to hide the field. And I'm going to get this message. This field is hidden. The reason for this is because I want to enable it so to be visible once they select red. So I'm going to go to preview really quickly. Here we go. And that yellow field is gone. Okay. Why? Because it's hidden. So let's go ahead and unpreview this. Let's go to settings and we are going to show you the conditional logic options. So let's go into conditions and I'm going to use one of these conditional logic. There's several of these. They're super powerful and robust, which is going to make your form really unique. In this case, I'm going to show you the show and hide field so you understand how easy it is to set up conditional logic. So in this case, if, for example, the type right here, which is the drop-down menu that we added, state is equal to, and in this case, red, I am going to show this field, which is the thank you for selecting red. Let's go ahead and save this, and conditional logic is now enabled. That's how easy it is. Let's go into preview. Here we go. We're not able to view that section here, and I'm going to select green nothing happens. I'm going to select blue, nothing happens. But now I'm going to select red. Here we go, and it's now visible. We now have this option available for us to fill it out. So it's just super easy to use conditional logic here in Jotform. And as I mentioned before, there's several of these options available to make your form really unique and really powerful with conditional logic. Now I'm going to show you the emails section. With emails, we can set up who is going to receive emails. By default, notifications is set up previously. That's going to tell me that someone filled out the form. And I'm going to get an email subject, which can be changed right here really easily with form title and name. I can also use form fields to be added here. So if I want the name of the person, like it's set up right here, I can go ahead and remove this or add it again with the name feature right here for the fields. So it's going to make every single subject unique when I receive it, which could be useful, right? And then we have the email content. The email content also has variables from the form fields, which can be changed, removed. We can go ahead and change the logo right here, change it to our own logo, and I can send out a test email if I like, and I'm good to go. I also have the recipients. In this case, it's sent to me, but I can also change the sender name, the reply to email. I can add more email recipients to this. So I can add up to 10 recipients. So in case I want to notify more people in the team, that is possible too. In this case, it's a party invitation. I can notify my wife and me in this case. So both of us, it's going to get a notification when someone fills this out. And we also have the advanced options for different situations. So when a submission is received, when a submission is edited, do I want to send the file uploaded as an attachment? So if I have that feature added in the form, that's going to also upload it, attach a PDF, hide empty fields, update emails, sender email, etc. All can be set up right here in the emails. Now I'm going to discard this, and I can also add more emails here. So if I want to add an email, again, I can do a notification email, and I can notify the person who filled it out by adding their email here, the autoresponder email, and the digest email. So it's just super easy to set up emails to notify the right people for the right situation, right? Next, I want to show you the thank you page. When someone fills out this form, they're going to be greeted with the thank you page. In this case, this is the thank you page right now. I can change the icon if I like to. I can change the details here to something else, and it's just super easy to edit. I have all these available options here. I can add action buttons to make this a really useful thank you page. So aside from being a thank you page, I can add a button to go to a visit a URL. So in case I want to take them somewhere else, so go ahead and visit this page for a deal, a description, or something else that they might need to fill out, and it's possible here, or download PDF. So several available options here, and I can add fields to this right here. So I can say thank you to with the name. So I can do name, thank you with their name that was filled out. So it makes it unique. And if I don't want to set a thank you page and I want them to be directly directed to a link, that is possible too by selecting redirect to an external link after submission. So if this was a product form or maybe a survey, maybe you want to send them to a deals page or a thank you website, that is possible by using the link right here. But in this case, I'm gonna keep it in the thank you page. So it's just super easy to do. I also want to show you the integrations. So several integrations available here, like Salesforce, Google Sheets, Google Calendar, Stripe, OneDrive, Trello, Slack, Zoom, Pipedrive. There's so many of these available that lets us integrate really easily with Jotform. So go ahead and select any of these in case you work with any of these outside of Jotform and connect them one with another. So a great option here in integrations for you to select. Next, I want to show you the workflows. So if this was a workflow where it needed to be assigned and approved, this is a great option. So in this case, for the party invitation, you can see here, I've enabled the workflow and I can start a workflow right here. So let's just say that this party invitation has to go to Papa, and Papa has to say yes or no, and then the kids are going to receive the yes or no. So first they need to be approved. It's just super easy to do it that way. Or maybe this is a corporate form where they need to ask for vacation. Well, it goes through several processes and several bosses in order for it to get approved. And at the end, it's going to receive the email for a yes or no. So workflows is a fantastic option to use here in Jotform. There is a dedicated video for this. I do recommend that you check it out in case you want to use workflows. Next, I want to show you Jotform Sign. So if this was a signature-based form where it's important that you have a signature on it, this is an option that you can enable here by adding the signature field. So in this case, I'm going to add the signature field right here. Here we go. It's now been added. I have the properties for this. I have my sign in option here. And now I can enable the sign automation. I'm going to enable this. I'm going to select the email field, in this case, email. I'm going to enable the send the audit trail, and this is going to power up your form with the Jotform Sign feature. So super easy to enable here on Jotform. And next thing I want to show you here in settings is the form settings. So in this section, we'll get like the general settings for this, for the title, the form status is going to be enabled. Do I want to disable it? Do I want to disable it on a specific date? So let's just say that this is a party invitation and the party is going to be in a week. I want to disable it after a week. So there's no need for someone to fill us out if the party has already finished. So that could be an option there to enable. Disable ad submission limits. So if it hits 100 attendees, I disable it, and that's an option. Or 100 people filled it out, and that's all I need for this option. Maybe it's a survey or however you want to use this. Or disable on a specific date or a submission limit. So both of the options, whatever limit is hit first, is the one that is going to disable the form. So in this case, I'm going to keep it enabled. I can encrypt the form right here if I like to, which is super easy, and I can go ahead and disable it or keep it. I can show more options, which is the form warnings, form language, the password protection for the form, auto delete submissions, save and continue later, require SSO, unique submissions, unique fields, several available options here in the settings that I highly recommend that you take a look at once you start building your form here on Jotform. Now let's jump over to the publish section. What if I want to tie this form to an AI agent that I want to build? Well, that is possible too. So if I go to AI agents, I can start building an AI agent for this form. Maybe it's someone to greet the attendees to this party, and I can build the AI agent based on this. So maybe they have some questions, the AI agent can respond to them and bring in that form so they can fill it out during the chat with the AI agent. Or if this was a customer of frequently asked questions, that is possible too with this AI agent. So it's a really robust option that you can add to your form here on Jotform. Now, what if you are good to go? Your form is finished and you want to share it. Well, we're going to go into quick share. There's several options available, including sharing this via a link. So if I go ahead and copy this link, paste it in a browser, share it with someone via email, they're going to be able to open up the link and fill out the form really easily and quickly. Or I can go ahead and open this in a new tab. If I want to view it, I have my settings to make this a private form, a public form, company access, submit only, submit and view later, all these available options for us. If I want to directly invite the users, attendees, fans, etc. via email, I can do so by just adding the emails right here. I can also create the agents from here. I can share the form via QR code, social media. I can create an app from this form too. And I can also embed the form. So if I want to embed the form that I've just created into my website, that is possible too with the embed option. So I get the code to easily add it to any website that allows me to add a script to it. I can add the iframe, I can add it to WordPress, a feedback button that I can add to my website, pop-up, lightbox, source code. So several options available to start sharing your form right away. Now, what happens to the data that is filled out on these forms? Well, there's Jotform Tables. In this case, let's go into preview this form and I'm going to fill this out with demo data. So allow me to fill this out twice. Okay, I am now done filling out the form twice and I'm going to be able to view my submissions. Now there's several ways to access our submissions. One, if you are in the form builder here on Jotform, we can go into the form builder section up top here and we can go to tables. This will take us to the tables section of this particular form. So that's one of the ways that you can access the submissions. So this is the submissions that I filled out twice. Let's go back into our Jotform dashboard to show you another way to access the form submissions. So in this case, I am right here in our main workflow, and I'm going to go into this section, which is a party invitation. I am going to click on more, and I'm going to go into submissions. Now, once I'm in tables, there's several things that we can do. Aside from just viewing who filled out this form, I'm able to edit the submissions from here really easily. I can add one by clicking on the add button, which is super easy and practical to do so. I can access the form, so I can view it from here. I can assign the form, edit the form, auto delete submissions, which is disabled in this case, but there's several options available here. Now, that is viewing the submissions in a table view. What if I want to view them in different type of views? Well, that is possible here by adding a new tab. So if I click on new tab, I get several options available. I can add a different table view with different type of filters that I can add there. Maybe just clean up some rows where I have a compact view. If I need to add a calendar view, in this case, if there's several dates going on there, I can do a calendar view, which would be super useful. the boards view. So if this was a Kanban view where I can drag and drop to do things, a board would be really useful. Maybe a card view. In this case, let me show you the card one, which is practical. I'm going to connect to the form, hit next, and it's the party invitation form. Let's hit next again. And now I can create my own card view. So if I don't want to view everything, maybe I just want to view the name, the phone number, and the email. So that's all I want. I don't want to view the rest of the questions that were answered. I just want a clear view here of the cards for the name, phone number, and the email. So if I need to make some calls, I can do so by just jumping into the card view here in my Jotform Tables, which is a super useful feature to keep things clean. And the next tab I want to show you is, for example, if you have uploads and you just want to view the uploads, you can keep a nice clean view of your uploads in a new tab. Or reports. What if this was a really robust form that's filled out with a survey? Then a report would be super useful in this case. In this case, let me go ahead and enable a compact report just for testing purposes. And I have views for the forms that were filled out, including tables with reports. And I can go ahead and modify each one of these reports. I can change the look of the reports, and everything's just super easy to customize here in Jotform Tables. So definitely a great option to view all the submissions and have a clear view in each one of these tabs for the details that you actually want to view. Now let's go ahead and jump into our Jotform dashboard again. And what if we want to create an app here on Jotform? Well, you won't believe it. That is possible too. Let's go into our workspaces and we are going to go into my apps. In this section, we're able to create apps super easily here with Jotform. So let's go ahead and click on created app, and I have options to start from scratch, use templates, build a store, or clone an existing app. In this case, let's go ahead and use a template to show you how easy it is to get started here. So let's just say that I want to create a scheduling app. Well, this seems useful. Let's go ahead and preview this app right here to just see if it's the right fit for us. And this is for scheduling. I'm going to click on the app. It should open up. Here we go. And now I have the available options. Let's go ahead and close this, schedule an appointment. And inside of the app, I'm able to do all of this. Now, this is a simple app. Maybe we want something more complex with more options. Well, let's go ahead and preview this one. Again, let's go ahead and open up the app. Here we go. And now I'm able to book here, contact us, and I can make this more robust. I even have a menu available here, which seems good. Let's go ahead and use this template to customize it to our own needs. So the good thing about using templates is that they're already pre-built and we're able to just modify them to our own needs. So now we're in the Jotform app builder where we can modify every single aspect of this right here. So the current template has some buttons like book here. I can edit the form. So in this case, this is tied to a form to book, and I can go ahead and use properties and I can change the form. So let's just say that I created a different form for this particular button right here for booking. So I can change it by change the form right here or edit the form that's tied to this particular app. I can use form label, form description, show form available here, the element size, I can shrink it, mark it as required, mark as completed, the style, I can change the style from here. And there's several things that we can do here on the Jotform app to build it. Now I can add more elements by clicking on add elements to this. I got my basic elements, so I can add cards, headings, signed documents, paragraph, links, etc. A product list, a donation box, image gallery, videos. There's so many things that we can add to this, which makes it really powerful. And there's also widgets. So if I want to add a widget to my app, that is possible too. Then I have the app designer. So if I click on the app designer, I'm going to get the style that I can change here. Again, I got general and I can use app layouts to change the look and style of the app, depending what style we want in this case. And on the bottom, we have the menu options. So this menu is tied to the sections on the bottom. So if I go to the events section, this is the part of the app where we have the events. So if they click on events, it's going to go to this section, or the reach to us, it goes to this section. And once we're good to go, let's jump over to settings, set up the settings for this particular app, like the app name, the icon, the look and feel of this, the splash screen, push notifications, AI chatbot, all connected to this app. And if you're good to go, we have the options to publish this via a link, via QR code, so someone can scan it. If you have on your counter a little image with the QR code for the app, it's super easy for your customers to just scan it and jump into the application. And you also have the option for the embedding. So you got the embed code to add it to your website or to WordPress right here. So super easy to build an app here on Jotform. Next, I want to show you Jotform Sign. Now, we covered a small piece of Jotform Sign in the form builder, but there's a specific section for Jotform Sign. So my sign documents. This is the robust feature of a Jotform Sign. So if I want to create a new one, I go ahead and click on Create Sign Document. I can upload a document and start from an uploaded document, or I can use a template. In this case, I'm going to use a template. And as of this video, there's over 600 ready-made templates that you can start using. So if I need, for example, a simple one-page lease agreement, I go ahead and preview this, and I am able to see if it's the right fit for my needs. I'm able to fill it out, just go ahead and test it out and get the feel for this template. If I like it, I can go ahead and use the template. And it's just super easy to build a signable document here on Jotform. So now we have the elements available that we can customize and assign to who is going to fill out what in this contract, for example. In this case, it's a lease agreement. We have with the orange color, which is me. But what if the tenant needs to fill this out? I go ahead and select tenant, and it turns into a different color so you can preview who is going to fill out what in this form. If I need to add a third signer to this, I can go ahead and add the new role right here. And if I need to add more elements, I go ahead and click on add elements, and I can just go ahead and drag them inside of here. And it's just super easy to use here on Jotform Sign. We got our both signers here. They are assigned to the correct person. And if I need to preview how this is going to work, I'm going to go into preview documents, and in preview documents, I'll be able to view what's going to be filled out by what person. So in this case, I'm able to view all roles, but if I just need to view me in this case, I go ahead and select it, and I'm going to preview the fields that will be assigned to me only, which is a useful feature to see who needs to fill out what and see if it's something needs to be fixed. Go back outside the preview and edit this again and select who is going to be assigned to what. Now, each one of these elements has properties, so I do recommend that you check each one of these out and set the correct settings for each one of these. Now, once you're done, go to settings. We have our general settings for this, which is the title for this, the email settings, the integrations. If you want to integrate Jotform Sign with other integrations, that is possible too. And once you're good to go, we are ready to publish and send this out to our assigned people. All right. So in this case, we have our recipients. We can set the name and the email for this to be sent out. We can also enable signing order. So that means that if I want someone to fill out first and then jump into the next person, that is possible by enabling signing order. That means that they are not all going to receive it unless it goes through the order first, which is a really good idea in case you don't want to sign something that hasn't been previously filled out by the other assignees. All right. Then you have your send documents through here. You got your share with link and the embed option if you want to embed it. So several available options here. And yes, this has regulatory compliance, and it also has audit trails to know what has happened each step of the way. So several features available on Jotform Sign. Once you're good to go, we're able to also view this in tables, view the inbox for everything that's going on with this particular agreement. In this case, it's a lease agreement. And in this inbox, we'll be able to view the process of the form that's been sent out. So waiting for signature, waiting for others, completed, canceled, or declined, all available here in your inbox. So super useful features here on Jotform Sign. Next, I want to show you Smart PDF forms. Now let's go into create form, and I'm going to select Smart PDF form. Now this is super useful when you have a document that needs to be filled out. It's going to tie the elements to the section that needs to be filled out. So let's go ahead and click on upload document, and I'm going to select one of the forms here. So in this case, I'm going to use this W8 BEM form that needs to be filled out. So I just uploaded this form, and it automatically created these fields inside of the form. And if I select it, it tells me where these elements are located. That means that I can go ahead and edit these if I need to. If something needs to be corrected or changed, I can do so here. So I go ahead and select it, and it tells me where these elements are. And I can go ahead and remove them from the form PDF if I don't need to fill these out later on. And I can click on the properties for each one of these elements that was created for this PDF document. So it's super useful. Now, what if I need to add elements because Jotform didn't detect it, or if I want to use an element that is not in the form or the PDF, but I want to add it? Well, I click on add elements, and in this case, I'm going to select the email. I'm going to drag it just here on the top. So I want to start off with the email. Now, the email is not tied to the form yet, but I can go ahead and do so by clicking on it. And now I can drag it in the section where I want to add this. So let's just say that in this PDF, I want to add the email. So you can see how easy that was by adding an element right here. And now I can jump into the properties and edit what I need to in this particular element that I've just added. But now it's tied to the form. So I go ahead and select it. And now I know that this is tied to this element right here. And I can drag and drop it any place that I want here in this section. So it's just super easy to do so by adding elements. And there's several elements that we can add right here. And once you are good to go, we are ready to jump into the settings section. So in this case, we got our title, our form status. Right now it's enabled. I can disable it on specific date, on the submission limit or date and limit, etc. And I also have my advanced options. So I can set a form warning, a language. I can password protect this PDF. So if I need to add a password to it to secure it, that is possible too. Auto delete submissions. I can enable this if I need to. So I can do it via hours, days, or a year, depending if I need to clear that data up later in the future. I can go ahead and enable this right here. I can save and continue later, require SSO, unique submissions, and several available options here. Also, we can set up the emails for the notifications for me, who is the owner of this PDF, for example, and who filled it out is also going to get a response here. And if I need to edit this, I can go ahead and edit and change the details right here for the email, the recipients, the advanced options, and all the available options here. There's also conditional logic. So like you saw with the form, where we can use conditional logic to make this a really robust PDF fill out system. You can also use conditional logic here. Change the thank you page once it's filled down. The integrations, several integrations available to integrate our PDF, our smart PDF form right here. The workflows, Jotform Sign, and mobile notification for this. And once you're good to go with all your form settings, let's go ahead and jump into publish, and we're able to share this to be filled out really quickly. So if I jump into a new tab, I'll be able to fill out this PDF right here with all the details that I've added. And at the end, I'm going to get a filled out PDF because it's a smart PDF, which is super awesome. So from a form, you're going to get a filled out PDF that's super easy to just send off, download, and start using right away. There's also the embed options. If you want to embed it, you can assign the form, you can email the form, you can pre-fill it out. So there's a manual pre-fill, form pre-fill, tables pre-fill, all these available options that is going to make it really easy for someone to pre-fill data with these available options. And third-party platforms also available to highly customize your smart PDF. Now in the builder, there's also a designer option. So if you don't want that plain look, you can also modify this too. So just by selecting a color scheme, you can edit each one of these colors individually by selecting them right here. There's also styles. There's themes available that you can select for the layout. So if you want to change the look of it, just go ahead and select the theme right here really fast, and it changes here, right? Also the layout, if you want to change it from classic form to card form, it is possible too. So several options available for you to make smart PDF forms here on Jotform. Now let me show you workflows. So let's go into my workspace. Let's go to my workflows, and this is going to enable you to trigger a workflow based on a form that's submitted. So if you need an approval for a vacation, that is possible through workflows. In this case, let me show you a one-step approval so you understand the concept of workflows, which is super useful in companies, especially, all right? So in this case, I am in the builder and I'm able to view the workflow. In this case, we have a simple one-step workflow. That means that when someone is filling out this form right here, which I'm going to select, and in this case, I'm going to select this school registration form. So the school registration form needs to be approved or denied. So when someone fills this out, the approval is going to be sent out to this email. If I head on over to settings, I have the options for the outcomes, which is approved, denied, and I can add a new outcome for maybe, let's think about it, and I can send it off to someone else, and that is possible too. The approvers, in this case, me, and the completed rule. So required response from majority. In this case, I can change it to a different type of completion rule. In this case, I'm going to keep it simple. And I have the advanced options for require a comment. So you just can't approve or deny. You have to add a comment to this. If I make it required, I can reassign, request more information, and available options here in the advanced options. Now, what's going to happen? So I have two options in this case, approve and denied. If it's approved, I'm going to send it over to this email. Okay. And then I have my settings for it. And I have set it here. Your request has been approved. That's the email subject for this and the email content. All this can be edited. I can remove, add, change logos, or just add more fields to this, or change the look for this completely. If I'm good to go, I go ahead and jump into recipients. And in this case, the sender name is Jotform, the reply email, and the recipient email is going to be tied to the email from the form that's filled out. So the person who is requesting, in this case for the school, is the email that's going to be sent off to. And I can add more emails here. And I have the advanced options to send a file upload attachment, send the submission PDF, attach, etc. Okay, I'm good to go. I go ahead and save it. And if it's denied, I have a different email here, which is going to be a denied template. In this case, the subject is denied and the information inside of here is denied too. Everything can be changed here, same as the approved email, recipients, and the advanced options available here. And once we're good to go, we can go ahead and end it. But in workflows, there's several options available. We can make this super simple or super complex, depending on our needs, having several approvers, having different steps, adding more options like approved, denied, and thinking about it. All this can be done here. And you have elements that we can add. You can add payment forms, emails, tasks, a team approval, flow report, PDFs, if else, so conditional logic for this, based on if else, a conditional branch, on split branches, on merged branches, and at the end that needs to be added when you are done. There's also integrations that can be integrated with all these available options as of this video. So it's a really robust option to create workflows here on Jotform. And once you're good to go, head on over to settings, and we have our title, our status, enable or disabled, and the restart workflow on submission edit. So you have options available here in the settings. And once you're good to go ahead and publish this, and it can be kicked off by sending off the form or sharing a direct link to the flow right here. Once we're good to go, we have embed options, assign forms, emails, platforms for third parties that can be integrated. And it's just super easy to start using workflows right here on Jotform. The next feature I want to show you is the board. So Jotform now has boards, and we're able to create Kanban views for example, creating steps where if something needs to be done, it's a really great option to use. So let's go into my workspace. Let's go into my boards, and we're going to create our board right here. So I'm going to click on create board, and I have several options available. I can start from scratch. I can select the form, use a template, or import a board. Let's go ahead and get started with a template. There's several templates available as of this video. I can go ahead and preview the template, see how it works, drag and drop the elements inside of this template. Well, in this case, jobs that need to be done in progress are done. And if I like it, I go ahead and use this template. And I'll be able to start using a timeline template really quickly here with my team by selecting it. So let's get a few seconds. Here we go. We're good to go. I can now use this right here and I can drag and drop the, in this case, done to backlog to archive. I can add a new group. There's several available options like connected assets to this. I can connect a form, connect an AI agent, connect workflows, connect eSign, and have everything connected inside of Jotform to make this a super robust board. And I have my board options here. So I got my task fields available, my card views. So you can see what you want to view in the card. I can remove details that I don't need. For example, maybe I don't want to preview tags. I want to keep it more compact. That is possible by removing those. The theme, I want to change colors. I can choose my own background to make it simpler, nicer, whatever I like, that is possible too. So several available options. And once I'm good to go, I can go ahead and share this and make this a private board, a company access, read-only, commenter, or collaborators. And it's just super easy to use boards right here. Now, if you need to create a board from scratch, that is possible too. So inside of boards, let's go ahead and create a new one. It's going to create a board, start from scratch. In this case, I'm going to build it from scratch. And I can go ahead and add sections. In this case, for example, if I need to add groups, that is possible. Now, this might be a good idea in case you don't want to use a template and have a cleaner look here. I can go ahead and just remove these few elements that were added to this and start using my boards right away with my team. Now, boards are really robust and powerful where you can view all the information here from this board. I can add a checklist, task field, and several available options. And it's just really robust option here in Jotform to use boards. So all that will be available here on Jotform. Next, I want to show you a really powerful feature here in Jotform, which is Jotform Agents. So let's go into our My Agents, and we'll be able to create an AI agent that is super smart. All right. So in this case, we can go ahead and create a brand new agent here and create agent, and we can describe our agent. So what is this agent going to be created for? So is this a coffee shop business? Is this a corporate business? Is this going to be someone who's going to provide food recipes? What is the agent going to do? So go ahead and describe it here and go through the process of creating your agent. It's super easy, all right? In this case, let me show you Brewster, which is a coffee enthusiast. let's go into the edit agent because I want to show you how powerful AI agents is. So first off, we have the builder, right? And then we have the builder for different sections of this agent. So we have the standalone agent, we have the chatbot agent, voice, phone, SMS, and WhatsApp, and Messenger. Now, all these will have different settings that can be edited, okay? So in this case, we have this section, which is the standalone section. I can talk to Brewster through here, and I can click on the gear icon to edit this section, which is the standalone section. So in this case, we have the welcome option here. So I can remove the welcome page, change the heading, description, logos, details, the greetings for the standalone option, and the menu for the standalone. Do I want to enable chat, voice, WhatsApp? All these options available here in the menu can be edited to be removed or added. If I select chatbot, well, chatbot will have different options in the gear icon here. So for the navigation options, same thing goes with voice, and each one of these will have different options. For the voice, we can select who will be the voice, in this case for Brewster, the coffee enthusiast. So let's go ahead and select, for example, Aria.
Jotform AI Agent.
If I like Aria, I can go ahead and select it. And I can use the filter here to select different languages. If I want to select the gender, the age, etc., all that will be possible here in Jotform AI Agent. And then the most robust part of the agent, making it super smart. So when we click on train, we go into the knowledge base. We have several options available to make your AI agent super smart by adding details into the knowledge base. So if I click on add knowledge base, I have options. I can add knowledge base based on text, so I can describe what it needs to know via text. I can also do it via link, which is super practical. So if I have a website, or if I have websites to the products that I need to know, for example, for the coffee enthusiast, I go ahead and add the links. It's going to go to that website, grab the details, and it will have it ready to serve to anyone who is talking to, in this case, this coffee enthusiast. File upload. So if I need to upload a PDF, a Word document, etc., that has details that it needs to know, this AI agent, I can do so via file upload. Or the questions and answers. So if I know there's questions that are going to be asked, I can go ahead and add the questions right here and respond to them. Why? Because it's going to make it easier for us to know what is going to be asked and responded. Now, for the questions and answers, when someone is talking to the AI agent and the AI agent doesn't know what to respond, it will automatically create a question and answer here. So I can go ahead and respond to it here. So in this case, there's an unanswered question and I can respond to them right here, which is pretty useful when you start using your AI agent. Next, we have the AI persona. So the AI persona is the actual persona of the AI agent. So their name, their actual role. So if I want to change their type of role, and this will change their behavior and how they respond by selecting the AI agent role, the default language, the tone of voice, the conversation style for chat and for voice. So if it's going to be responding short or long, we have the options here. Same thing goes for voice, and guidelines for the chat and guidelines for the voice. So you can highly customize how your AI agent is going to behave, talk, and what they're going to say. There's also actions available here. So this is like conditional logic with AI agents, which makes it super smart too. Go ahead and set this up, and there's different type of actions to make it really smart. So when something happens, it's going to do something. So if someone talks about a complaint, you can send off a survey or opening up a support ticket here. So that is possible with the actions. You have tools available that you can enable. You got forms that you can tie into your AI agent, and you can add several forms to this. And you have the option to teach your agent. Teaching your agent is, well, talking to your agent. Just go ahead and talk to it, and it's going to understand things that it needs to know. And those questions that you ask here that can't be answered will be added to the knowledge base. And once you're good to go, you can go ahead and publish this. And there's several options available here. So you can publish, for example, your voice agent, your phone agent, the chatbot agent, or the standalone agent, where all the options are going to be available. And there's several of these options available to be added into your agent. So it's a no-code solution to start creating your AI agents right here on Jotform super fast and easily. Now, if I go ahead and check out this agent, I go ahead and open it up, and I can start chatting with it right now. So in this case, Brewster is a caffeine enthusiast, and they help me out with a lot of things. For example, if I want to learn about coffee essentials, I go ahead and ask it, and in this case, Brewster is going to do his job and talk to me. In this case, I've set up Brewster to be really chatty, so it's a long phrase right here that is going to be talking to me. AI agents is awesome. Test it out if you haven't done so. because you're going to really love it once you start using it. And you'll be able to highly customize it and make it super smart with all the knowledge base that you'll be able to add here on Jotform AI Agents. So definitely check that out. So you can see how Jotform is really powerful. It's robust. It's a no-code solution. Nothing is complex at all. Everything is just super easy to use right now to start using it for your business, for your party invitations, for your donations. So everything can be done here in Jotform, all the way from creating a simple form to a super complex form, from creating an AI agent to creating workflows for approvals, tables to organize everything, with my signature for your documents to be signed and have an audit trail and security options available here on Jotform. My boards to start taking care of the jobs that need to be done and actually doing it by having a to do, it's done, or needs to be fixed, etc. Boards help out with that. Creating apps for mobile applications and your reports here on Jotform. So definitely check it out. Sign up for the free plan and find out for yourself that Jotform is super powerful. And please let us know here in the comments what you think about Jotform, what you would like to see in the future. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that little bell notification to get notified when new videos come out. And that is a wrap.